was lucky enough to get a job at 19 designing video games in Los Angeles for a company called Activision. And I think because I started so young, I was able to have my midlife crisis around 26. And that was where when I realized that the stuff that I thought I wanted to do forever when I was 17 wasn't really what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And there was a whole lot more to the world than I realized, and a whole lot more to me. And so I had this money saved up after a couple of years, and I decided to spend it on a trip, a backpacking trip around the world, basically until the money ran out. And we were taking pictures in Vietnam. My friend Brad said, why don't you go stand over there in the corner and do your stupid dance and I'll film it. It was just a fun thing to do in that particular place, and I decided to keep on doing it everywhere I went on this trip. So 6 months later, I got home, I was out of money, I had all these clips together, I edited them into a short little video, slapped some cheesy world music over it, put it on my website, and that was done. 2 years later, I heard from a friend that my video had wound up on this website called YouTube. I'd never heard of YouTube before. I found my video on there, 650,000 people had watched it. People watched this video and it made them feel really, really good. It made them feel happy. It made them, it was profound to them, and it represented the way people want to feel when they travel. My first thought when the video exploded was, holy crap, this is awesome. Maybe I'll get to keep on traveling, because that's all I really wanted to do at that time. And, but I wouldn't have known how to go about getting somebody to give me money to keep on traveling. Fortunately, I didn't have to. Stride contacted me. They said, we've got a new chewing gum coming out in June of next year. We want a viral video. You made a viral video. Will you make one for us? But I started realizing while I was on this trip that what I was saying with this video isn't really anything more than what a dog says when you take him on a walk and he goes and he pees on a fire hydrant and then he pees on a tree. He's saying, I was here. The thing is, I was dancing in front of the big landmarks. If I was in China, I was going to dance in front of the Great Wall of China. If I was in Egypt, I was going to dance in front of the pyramids. Rwanda doesn't have any landmarks that you want to dance in front of. It just has a whole lot of people. So I figured, okay, well, I'll dance in front of a bunch of kids. I found some kids playing in a puddle, and I started dancing, and the second I did it, I didn't speak Kinyarwanda, I didn't speak French, they didn't speak English, didn't matter. They saw me dancing, enormous white guy, they started dancing too. It was instantaneous, it was so much fun, and at the end of the 6-month trip, I realized that was the most fun I had the entire time. I went back to Stride, and I said, thank you so much, that was awesome, thank you for sending me around the world, but I did it wrong. You need to send me around the world again to do it better. And they said, okay, sure. And I felt like after 5 years of doing this now, I'd finally really gotten it right. This 2008 video, I was really proud of. And it took off like crazy. It made those 10 million views look like nothing. After sitting for a year or two and doing nothing, I sort of had this one thing in the back of my head that was bothering me. And it was that when I made the 2008 video, I had to sign a contract. And they gave me a list of countries. They said, you can go wherever you want, you just can't go to these 10 places. And they were countries that the US had sanctions with, and a US corporation can't do business with those countries. The more I traveled, the more important those countries became to me, because I was realizing this thing over and over again. When I first started traveling, the first time I went to Vietnam, I was really scared. I didn't know what people were going to be like. I didn't know if they were going to be friendly. I didn't know if it was going to be safe. And I discovered when I got there, it's totally safe. It's fine. And then I'd go to another country. I'd have the same fear. I'd step off the plane. What's going to happen? Totally fine. I'd go to Yemen. I'd go to Afghanistan with these same fears, and I would meet people who were friendly and welcoming. In fact, they'd go out of their way to welcome me because they knew that I was scared. If you're making something on the internet and you want it to be really popular, the last thing you want to do is have a point. If you want something to hit big on YouTube, you don't want to have a point. And here I was with this message that was really important to me that I wanted to get across to people. And maybe it would have been better off if I was just doing one of these things, but it got to the point where it takes 2 years for me to make these videos. And I'd become a dad by that time. And if I was going to take off around the world, I needed to be saying something. I needed to be saying something that mattered to me. And that if I could have 45 million people's attention for 5 minutes, that's what I wanted to communicate to them, which is that we don't need to be afraid of each other. We can't, there's sometimes reasons why we should be afraid of each other, but we have a choice as to whether or not we're going to let that affect our decisions. And if we choose to live without fear of each other, it changes things. It really does.